So I was at university and I was teaching pole fitness. I set up the first ever pole fitness club in the country, and that's another story. But I was approached by a charity. They were putting on a performance for the university, and it was a charity event, a huge event, ticketed event. Students could come and they were raising money for charity. And they asked me if I would do a circus performance. Now, I had never done circus before. I'd been teaching pole, which was obviously very physical, but I mean, I'd seen the circus, I loved Cirque du Soleil and, you know, things like that, but I'd never done anything like it. So I was at university in York and I searched back then. There was limited resources online, but I searched and I found a place called the Green Top. So I went down to Sheffield with a friend. We were, you know, part of the pole club together, and we met a lovely Israeli circus performer called Yam. And we said to her, we have 3 months and we need to perform. And she was just like, I can imagine looking at what she thought. She's like, who are these crazy girls who've never done circus before announcing that they were going to do a circus performance for this event? And she was like, okay guys, have you ever done circus before? No. So we started with rope training. Now, when I tell you that rope burns, you're gonna go, sure, rope burns. No, no, no. Rope makes you burn and also bleed. My hands were raw, my feet were raw, because she teaches you how to climb the rope. And every time you're gripping the rope, this rope would just burn. I remember driving back in my little Peugeot 206 back to the halls of residence, and I'd have one hand on the steering wheel and one hand on the glass, just to cool my hand down where it was so raw from the rope, because we were training a lot and we had to train a lot because we had a deadline. So we trained and trained and trained on the rope, and then she moved us over to silk. Now, silk was much harder than rope because it has more of a give, but also it has less resistance. You know, the rope is solid, where silk is like silk, it's slippy. It's not actually silk material, but it doesn't allow for better grip. So that's why Yam got us training on the rope to begin with. So I picked music from the Fifth Element movie with Bruce Willis, where this alien opera singer sings this incredible song, operatic song mixed with pop music. And if you haven't heard it, it is so cool. And you've got to listen to it. Anyway, so it's this beautiful kind of operatic music, and then the beat drops and it's just like, wow. So I was very balletic, performance, beautiful on the silk. And then as the beat drop, I fall into a roll, and then, you know, the wow bit of the performance happens. Now, it's one thing learning each move, but it's quite another when you have to sustain that for 4 or 5 minutes. That is utterly exhausting. I had no idea how hard it was because you don't get a break when you're on the silk. You know, you are holding yourself the entire time. Your body is constantly under tension, and that is really, really intense. So it wasn't that each individual move was challenging, which they were, but once you'd learned it, you'd learned it. It was sustaining that through the performance, and that was the hardest thing. And I remember before I went on that night, I psyched myself up and I said, come on, Lucy, you've just got to get through it. And what I found was if I smiled, I would breathe more. So as I was sat in the silks in different moments, catching my breath, I would smile and I would just encourage my breath to come. And I managed to get through it. And I look back and I watched the little video, which is so bad quality because it was a long time ago, but I'm so proud of what I did. It was the most amazing way to keep fit, get strong. I could do like 1,000,000 pull-ups. I was so strong. And to be adding that performance aspect to it was just so exciting. That was my circus performing days for charity. And if you've never done circus, I highly recommend it.